Alright, man, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? It's Oreyoo Sports, man. We back in here with another video, man. This is gonna be episode 2 of the Oreyoo Sports. It's not a podcast, but y'all know the deal. I said this was gonna be weekly, but I know I didn't hit y'all up with a video about this last week, mostly because it wasn't there weren't really it wasn't a lot of information really to talk about last week outside of predictions for the East and Western finals, and I kind of didn't really want to get into that or whatever, but it is what it is. And I planned a video for this past Saturday, but like I said in my last video, the internet went down, and so I couldn't really talk about nothing. But today, so I'm gonna be doing 2 episodes today, and so my topic for episode 2 here is actually it's kind of like a 2-parter of destinations where Aaron Gordon can go this year and what would be the best fit for him. So I'm kind of going to cover both of those. If you guys don't know, Aaron Gordon will be a restricted free agent this year or after or this coming off season, which means that if he accepts any offer from any other teams in the NBA, the Magic they have 3 days to match the offer for Aaron Gordon. And so far the Mavericks, Pacers, and Suns were all showing interest so far in Aaron Gordon. I think Phoenix, just getting into this, I think Phoenix is a solid destination for him, because you have your young gunner and Devin Booker, and I think a team of him and Gordon, those are 2 huge star players. I truly feel if Aaron Gordon hadn't if he played a full season since that 2016 dunk contest when he got fucking robbed. It's also some shit going on outside. I'm sorry about that. It's also raining too, so I'm sorry. But if Aaron Gordon would have had a healthy season up to this point, I definitely think he would have been an all-star by now, obviously. And with him playing in the East, that just helps him even more. Devin Booker he's obviously an up-and-comer. I didn't know this, but Aaron Gordon is actually 22 years old. I don't know why, but I could have sworn Aaron Gordon was 25, 26. So I ultimately think that his age and his youth actually will help him in the conversation that I'm about to get to in a few minutes. But like I said, going back to Phoenix, I think that's a good spot for him because you already have a young star in Devin Booker there. But those are 2 kind of players that feed off of themselves. Devin Booker is the guy, he's the Kobe, or you can look at Donovan Mitchell, the person that's gonna go out there and he's just a straight shooter. Devin Booker he's the nigga that's gonna go out there and just drop 20, 30, 40 points. You know what I mean? Ooh, 70 if it's against Boston, but I don't really see Devin Booker as that guy who can facilitate an offense, and I think that's really what Aaron Gordon needs, because Aaron Gordon is himself. He's pretty much 2012, 2013 Blake Griffin. In that you just find him in the paint and let him go up and do his thing. Because Aaron Gordon, he's not a solid shooter, and so but obviously his points, he gets his boards. He's getting his rebounds. And the majority of his points come from dunks and post moves in the paint. And so I don't really think the connection, when you look at those 2, you say, damn, you got a team with Devin Booker and Aaron Gordon, 2 young up and comers, that's dope. But then it's you kind of look at it as a team, it's I don't know, you know what I mean? And the thing with Dallas is just old. I mean, they have the cap space, but so they have enough cap to take Aaron Gordon. I just don't see how that environment or whatever would help him, because if y'all don't know, Aaron Gordon is my favorite power forward in the league outside of Blake Griffin, because Blake Griffin was always my nigga since the college days. But obviously them injuries been piling up for BG, man. But still, you know, and it could be the same case for Aaron Gordon if he just like continues to get these like knick-knack injuries throughout the season or throughout these years. I don't think he will. I do think he'll kind of remain relatively healthy, which I think is the best for him. But that's the thing, when you come in as a big ass, you know, light skinned power forward where your main shit is dunking, you know, like you bound to get hurt. So I think it would be best for Aaron Gordon now to develop a shot, because like I said, he's only 22. The thing with Blake, when Blake came in, he spent his first, you know, 5-6 years, you know, when did Blake get drafted? 2010. So he spent his first about 4, 5, 6 years just being a straight dunker, you know, and that shit didn't work out, like, you know, after a while. And so now Blake has, you know, developed a shot in the last season or two, which it ultimately will benefit him in the long run, so to speak. But it's a little too late for that for Blake, because he's already 28, 29. Aaron Gordon's got some time, you know. So I'd say if I'm AG right now, man, I know Aaron Gordon, like you the homie, and that's your whole thing, and you can still obviously be like a dunker and all that, but you have to develop some sort of shot, you know. And so it's just with Dallas, I just don't really see them adding any pieces around him, because Aaron Gordon he's also said he's looking for like a max deal, or he at least feels in Orlando he's worth a max deal, which I personally do agree. I do think Aaron Gordon is worth big money. You can say his health may get in the way, it may be an issue, but I feel his talent that he could bring, and also like I said, with him being so young, I think he's worth the risk, so to speak. And then like the Pacers is the other team that has shown interest. I think grouping him with Oladipo in terms of these three teams alone is his best option. I think with Indiana, they have a little less cap space to bring in a big free agent, but they still have, I believe, a couple guys. I think they still have Al Jefferson, who I think they're giving him anywhere between $6 to $10 million a year or whatever. So you can just easily drop his old ass or whatever you want to do. And, you know, I think they can get enough cap space to bring in Aaron Gordon. I don't think AG would necessarily be a turnaround piece for Indiana in terms of having Indiana with, you know, Oladipo and AG. I don't think that's going to put them over the hump in the East, because I still see Boston and Philly as like the two top, you know, front runners in the East for the foreseeable future. But it's definitely enough to make them some sort of, you know, competition. Then also you got the two like dunk guys with Oladipo and AG that'll definitely sell tickets, you know, and so it could just be good for their overall scene in general. Other teams that have shown interest or that could land AG this season, obviously outside of just him ultimately staying in Orlando, which I don't think is good for him, because he's a young stud player who, like, Orlando is doing nothing for him, you know. San Antonio and Boston were two other teams that like could definitely land him this year. With San Antonio, I definitely think with Kawhi likely leaving, or, you know, whether he gets traded, yeah, I believe he would have to get traded, you know. So with him likely getting traded or whatever, you would want to bring another piece in. You do have LA, so I don't really know how that would work. You can probably just move Aldridge to the 5 and put AG at the 4, maybe. But so that's kind of why I don't necessarily see him going to the Spurs, really. But Boston, and I hate to do like two like episodes in a row that are kind of centered around the Celtics, but trust me, like episode 3 is not gonna have to really do with Boston at all. Trust. The thing with, I think Boston, because it's like with Gordon being a free agent, Boston could just straight up, you know, sign him. But I'm not sure, because the whole thing with Boston right now is, damn, you got to pay all these dudes, you know. So it's like Kyrie gonna be, you know, wanting a big contract. He's already getting paid about $17 million a year. You just paid Gordon Hayward all that money. You're still paying Al Horford, and you're ultimately gonna end up having to pay Brown and Tatum, which that's, you know, some years down the road. But still, And it's like, how do you keep all these guys? And plus, it's like, you kind of look at it as Horford versus Aaron Gordon. Which one would you rather have? Boston. And it's like, Al Horford, he's always, for like this year's regular season and before, it was like, oh, old man Horford, he ain't got the sauce like that no more. But he been balling his ass off in the playoffs this year, man. And I kind of look at with Aaron Gordon and Horford, it's like they're similar in a sense. It's just Horford has more of a shot. Al Horford's shot is inconsistent, but the 3 shot is still there. And so they're pretty much the same players outside. They both, play hella good defense. But, it's like Al Horford has the better 3, and Aaron Gordon is just more, athletic and poses a bigger threat in the paint, and he's also younger. So it's like, which one would you rather have as like a Celtics fan? I mean, it's really toss up. Like, I wouldn't be mad if Boston like offered Orlando. Like I say, he would be a free agent, so I'm not sure how that would work out. But if they did a AG for Horford, because right now Al Horford's stock is like as high as it's been probably since he left Atlanta, and that's how he got that big ass contract from Boston. So you could definitely do a straight up trade, I would feel, for we'll give y'all Al Horford, y'all slide us Aaron Gordon. So I think Boston has the upper hand there. It's just it seems like an even enough trade, but then the thing with Boston is they got a lot of young dudes. And so it's like you would want to kind of build around for the future. Al Horford is already, 32, 33, 34? And so, like, he's a solid piece right now, but you need some young dudes. Kyrie is 26. Jaylen Brown is 21. Tatum is 20. Rozier is 24. Like, they have these young dudes. Hayward is 27, 28. And so I think you just want to build around with young dudes. So I wouldn't be mad, especially like I said, AG being like my favorite big man out there. I would definitely like to see him in Boston. I'm just not really sure if you 100% need him. So those are my thoughts on the situation with Aaron Gordon right now. Where do you guys think he'll land? Do you guys think he'll land in Phoenix or Indiana or Dallas, San Antonio, Boston, any other team I didn't mention? What teams do you think he would be a good fit for? Do you guys think he'll just end up staying in Orlando? Let me know all that in the comments, man. It's been Oreyoo Sports episode 2, man. I don't know what it is. New videos all week, every week, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. We out.